So with the tight passes, you know, going up with one hand and being able to save those balls is important, but you also want to remember that as a setter, the first move that we want to make is with two. So in order to kind of navigate the tighter sets with two hands, the core strength is even more emphasized, I think, because you're kind of bending over your body line with two, because if we were to go straight up, we would be in the net. So you're taking the ball a little bit off to your right. And so to practice this, we are going to take a box and have our setter stand on the box, put the ball a little bit tighter so they have to learn how to maneuver this kind of off of their right side. So again, one of the challenges with two-hand setting the tight ball is going to always be to make sure that your setter is not flying into the net. So it's, again, going to be a huge trial and error. You know, it's learning how to maneuver your body and have that core strength to be able to set the ball out. So as you can see, when Lauren is setting these tight balls backwards, her stomach is almost ending up facing the net, and that's because in order to get that power to go back, she's using her momentum of the spin to help keep the ball in line, and it's also preventing her from flying into the net. This is a little bit different than the front set. The front set, we stay a little more neutral, but with the back set, I think the natural flow of your momentum is going to take you off that right shoulder a little bit. If your setters don't naturally do this, that's fine too. I think it's just kind of a preference thing amongst the athlete, and I think once you're actually in the live situation, I think it helps to keep the ball in line with the net and the attacker's approach if that ball is taken off the right, because it keeps your midline out of the net and keeps you kind of keeps you in rhythm with your set. Is that okay, or was that butchered? So as you may notice, Lauren is turning and her belly button is almost perpendicular to the net when she is setting these tight balls backwards. And the reason for this is because her momentum going forward into the ball is kind of taking her naturally off of her right shoulder to help keep the ball in line with where she wants it to end up for the attacker. So going forward, she's going to stay a little bit more square, but going backwards in order to maneuver herself and maneuver the ball in a good position and to keep her out of the net. She is going to go up, set it, and naturally kind of have her left foot come around and set it off of her right shoulder. You know, some of your athletes may do this naturally, some may not, but I think for me, I personally find it easier and more helpful with staying in rhythm and keeping the tempo on the ball. Setting off the box, your athlete might not have this move naturally, but I think once you get into more of a live situation, I think they'll find it easier to set off of their right shoulder a little bit. So building on what we did from the box and in a more stationary position with a closer toss, we are going to now move into, again, more of a live situation, seeing how the athlete does with a tighter toss, or if you have passers and your passers want to put it a little tighter, you can also work in that to get more of a live feel for it. So we're just going to toss the ball and have Lauren go up with two hands and try and make the best set, either front or back, that she can. So notice she's keeping her shoulders more square to the net instead of squared out in front, and that's to keep her body from going into the net, even though sometimes it's going to be more of a practicing thing. Again, the more reps you get at it, the easier and the more natural it'll feel. You know, she's taking off from about a tile and a half off the net and drifting a little bit, and you know, we want our athlete to go more vertical, but you know, in these early stages they're gonna drift a little tighter to the net and under the center line. Same move, going up with 2, hopefully not giving away the back set too early, making sure they're staying nice and vertical.